Okay, hi everyone. Today I'll be going through a blocky board and we will see how to avoid such situations. Okay, so this game, okay, we start with a really awkward rag of FIIRSUU. Okay, so think about what you would do if you were to draw these tiles. Okay, so here you and I are two relatively clunky tiles, meaning they are not desired for bingos. Okay, while one eye is fine, two eyes is not good news. Okay, so for this reason, it is good to start with an exchange. Let's see if the analyzer agrees. Okay, so you can see here the top move is FIUU. Okay, the reason for this is we want to keep the tiles in retains, RETAINS. Okay, so we will exchange FIUU for the first turn. Next, okay, so this player decides to play think. Okay, nothing too special. It's just putting the K on double letter. And remember the center square at the center here is a double word. So this move will score 5 times 2, 10, 11, 12, 16, 17, a total of 34. Okay, so from here, the next track is AIQRRST. Okay, so for this, you need to study some words that have Q but without U. Okay, so knowing this, you can play trank. Okay, but there's also Kinta, which is also safer, but it risks exposing the letter A, which can be later used for ZA, JA, many words with A. Okay, so I would still recommend trank. Okay, so those curious here, you may think about what are the extensions of think and what are the extensions behind trank. I'll review this at the end of the video. So moving on from here, another series of messy vowels. So we have two O's and two E's. So what should we do here? Okay, we should definitely get rid of it. Okay, so the question then naturally follows, how do we remove it? Okay, so while we want to get rid of ZOE alone, it may not be necessarily possible. Maybe we need to put OOZE. But can you see what is the problem with OOZE? What letter do you think can go in front? Okay, so there can be a letter B, booze, as in alcohol. Okay, and not only that, notice that this letter O here is currently right beside a double word. So this means the opponent can put any high scoring tiles, such as the 8-point X for ox, and then make another word in the vertical direction, scoring much more. So for this reason, we wouldn't really want to play ooze in this position. Okay, what about the other position? Let's click and see. Okay, so okay, so this is the one ooze move. Okay, other positions are relatively worse. Okay, so I will not spend time to explain, but O something carries the same risk of OX. Okay, just a bigger risk because dark blue means triple letter times 3. Let's see, is ozone worth or is zone worth? Okay, if you know that you carry the second O, you have to take a chance here. Are you willing to risk the opponent having ozone? Because there are 6 different O's, 6 other O's in the bag. Okay, so that's something you got to ask yourself. If you feel like the opponent is going to put the O anyway, then you should just play ozone. Okay, and if you can see Zuier, ZOOEY, okay, the comparative form is Zuier, then go for it because it simply has the higher score. Okay, but let's see what this blocky player plays. Okay, so in this move, okay, the player plays Zoo, keeping EI and E. Well, not too bad. It scores 31. Okay, then over to this tricky rag next. So the player here has a clash between two I's and one Y. Okay, generally Y and I does not go well together. Okay, so if you know Kirby, good for you. Okay, but otherwise, this is considered a hard time. Okay, fortunately, there are some words that can get us out of this situation. Firstly, okay, the word iwi, IWI, also has another version that is YWIS. Okay, so this is one word that cannot have the letter S removed. So take note of this. But in this situation here, YWIS is a very blocky move and it scores 42. Okay, okay, so what if you do not know this complicated word? You still can put kiwis for 35. Okay, so Kiwis for 35, okay, you may ask, is it worth to put the S? Okay, to answer this, you must always compare. What are you going to score if you do not put the letter S? Take for example, you remove the S directly exposing Kiwi, 22 points compared to 35. Okay, generally, if the difference is more than 10, you should let go of the letter S. Okay, so that's a quick tip. So no surprises here because all the top moves are scoring in the high 30s or even 42. So letter S can be used. It is worthwhile. Okay, then next. Okay, so over here the players has played SWY, not exactly the best balance. Okay, because it keeps BIIR. Okay, so moving on, this player is going to play blocky. So is ANE a good move? Think about it. I'm sure you all have learned about how stacking can earn more points, but is this a good move? What is one letter that can go behind A and E? Okay, yes. Other than the letter S, it can also be W for a new. Okay, so it's not exactly the best to play A and E just like that. Similarly, in front you can play Jane, you can play Kane, Kane as in Kane, Cane. Okay, there's many more words. So either ways, A and E does not work out well, even though it's top ranking. So how can we improve it? We can play name. Okay, name is good and it's actually within your control because there is the word inane, INANE. That means the letter I on your rack right now can be used the next turn. Okay, so name is a good example. But let's see what did this player play. Renin. Okay, so this is very blocky for the reason that R must require a E next turn. Okay, but thankfully this player has kept a letter E behind. So there will be RE next turn, not an issue. Okay, but the rather we should see now, does it get taken? Okay, so then the players continue stacking, playing BEE. Okay, so for newcomers to blocky kind of Scrabble play, you need to be careful that if the game goes down in what we call a sequence of parallel plays or staircase, as we informally call it, it can be really down to luck to see who breaks out of this shape at the end. Okay, so what do I mean by who has the luck? Let's take a look at this coming rack. Okay, so in this rack here, we have the tiles outpace. Okay, looks good, right? I mean, you can be faster than someone, so you can outpace someone. Okay, but then is there a place for outpace? Is there? Okay, well, there is one. Okay, a sort of a risky one, 88. Okay, and but should you be concerned about this one being too risky? Honestly, no. Because if you open WO, this opening can take N, can take S, can take T. That means it's probably going to be taken. Similarly, you can say that letter E here of outpace is just as dangerous. Okay, but then in one turn, the player, I mean your opponent, can only take one move. So that means the other one is bound to be yours. In a way, you give one move and you take back a move. It is fair. So definitely you should play outpace. Okay, but if you want to just err on the safe side, okay, I would say it's overly safe. You can take out caper, which is also less common. Okay, but it's called 66. Okay, so if let's say we go with the strategy of this blocky player, they will play out caper. Okay, next. Okay, on this bad rack, okay, there are certain vowel dumpers such as UNAI, okay, Unai. There's also Uni, okay, and then there's also Urao. These few words will help you to get rid of the large number of vowels. Okay, but the unfortunate thing is Unai does not fit nicely. Okay, it would be too risky here. It wouldn't do anything at TI. I mean, it scores 10. Okay, and similarly, same reasoning. Maybe Unai can be played here for 15. Okay, it's worth considering this one because at least it overlaps two tiles and takes away the cheap ZEES that the opponent can use afterwards. So it sort of removes one scoring opportunity. Okay, Unai over here, YU may be an option, just suggesting it, because it opens up 2 lanes on row 14, as well as YUS. Okay, so in this sense, it is sort of a forking the board 2 openings. Okay, but the blocky player chooses to play IO. Okay, let's see how does this change the game. Okay, so the next player, okay, who is currently ahead, okay, plays, you can play any word that goes with GIO. Okay, actually IO doesn't have many front hooks, just bio and geo. It's just that in this situation, this person got lucky. Okay, just happened to have the G at the right moment. So there's a few words available. Shorter ones being let me see. Shorter ones would be yak or yak. Okay, slightly longer, Gayan. Okay, and yang, of course, yin and yang, 32. And then the longest would be Tenji, 34. Okay, but considering that we want to keep the tiles in retain, yak would be a good balance. Okay, and but just take note that Geo has a front hook of Argeo, takes A in front. Okay, instead this player plays Gayan. Okay, probably just to keep the board blocky. Okay, so over here, okay, there's actually a bingo rack here, but that's not the main point. So what I want to show you is how can you score on this blocky board. Okay, think about it. You can pause the video here. Okay, so here you might think of the word can. Well, because it's a common word and also because it fits nicely. So BA and REN are valid. Okay, and this scores only 17. So little, right? So instead, what you can do is you can put the letter S down. Okay, it will score 32. So notice how just adding a letter S in this situation can really increase your score. Okay, so go for it. Okay, then this person is holding the word, you could say evaluate, okay, or ovulate. There's a few possible bingos. Okay, so it's just a reminder of what you should always keep a lookout for, and that is bingos. Okay, even though you see evaluate, okay, you may not be seeing all the bingos. Another common pattern you can search is put the blank as O and then form out. Okay, but to out something, it must be something that you can surpass. That means you can do better. For example, you can outlive somebody. That means to live longer than someone. Okay, but you can't exactly out anything on this rack. Okay, so there is no bingo with out here. Okay, so instead the player has decided to play value, which is like going for the higher score. Okay, okay. Meanwhile, on the losing end, okay, this person has a triple I with a U. Okay, just a bit of bad luck here because the tiles are still quite bad, to be frank. So exchange again. Yes, okay, exchange GIIU because can keep IRE or IER, whichever way you see it. Okay, then this player has a choice of a few bingos. The person can play arterial road, okay, Torella, which is relatively less common, okay, or just play some other moves that score well. Okay, so in this case, you just want to stay ahead because this person is the one who is ahead. So you can play blocky moves like red. It makes sense only when you're ahead. Okay, keep that in mind. Do not do this if you are losing. Okay, then this person after exchanging still gets back a bunch of vowels. And at this moment, I want to introduce a few vowel dumpers. So first of all, you have EUOI. Okay, EUOI, and as well as OURIE. So OURIE can be played here to open the board more to create chances to catch up. Okay, but beware, both words do not take S. That means ORI only takes R behind. YO does not take S behind. Okay, so this one, it can be a double-edged sword. Okay, make sure you know the hooks of the words you are playing. Okay, similarly, if you were to play EUOI, okay, WE does not take S. Okay, EUOI also does not take S. Okay, so also beware of this. Okay, then with these dumpers, you can pretty much clear your tiles. Okay, and let's see what can be played. Okay, so Jal can be played letting go of a blank. So you may ask, okay, then is it a good time to use the blank? Okay, honestly, if your blank can boost your score by 20, it means 20 above a move that doesn't use blank, okay, you can use the blank. So take for example, if you saw the word jerk, it's going to score 60. And then you ask yourself, okay, if I were to play, let's say, something else elsewhere, let's say Jal, it's only 22. Okay, that's a difference of 38, far more than 20. Okay, so for this reason, you can use the blank for a good value. Okay, make sure the difference is at least 20 more. Okay, but in this case, the person has played the lower scoring move. Okay, but it's okay because this is the person who's leading. Okay, so back to the player who's struggling with vowel trouble. Okay, so the vowel trouble has not ended, and then now once again EOI has come to haunt. Okay, so EOI, what can you do? Okay, so the person can play Oni. Okay, so I understand that cancel is not an easy move. Okay, so not everyone would play this. Okay, but the point is this: you need to create openings for yourself, such as the bottom row, so that you can have a chance to bingo. Okay, if you just go on EUOI everywhere or to other places, or you play Euro, it doesn't really make openings. In fact, Euro is closing part of the triple lane. Okay, although I would argue that in this sense, you have control because you have YOD and as well as YON. So keeping Dino leaves things in your favor. Okay, so Euro is worth considering, but I would still prefer something bigger scoring because Euro is 10, but you compare, if it's cancel, Oni would score 23, which is like a typical move. Okay, hence Oni. Okay, so then what happens? Okay, this leading side is pretty lucky, got resemble. Okay, there's some less common word like burr lines. Okay, but in the end, the person settles for a move that is epsilon, someone who epsils, like ascend or descend a building with the line. Okay. So, okay, what can the trailing person do? He can play doved. Okay, he can play evaded. Okay, he can play dove. Dove 29. He can play dot 28. Okay, but I want you to see the thinking here. Okay, being the party who's behind, in this case more than 100 behind, you can create opportunities for yourself. You have a choice there. So the opportunity that's being created here is a letter D on column A. And this can be a past tense. Okay, so we'll see how that works out in a moment. Okay, then meanwhile, the person with ahead just has to focus on blocking up the spots. It doesn't matter which three-letter word you use to block, but the idea is take away any overly easy spots that can be used for bingo. Okay, so the person plays Dom. Okay, so here luck is starting to turn in the favor of the person who's trailing. Okay, so you can see that over has started to appear. Okay, when it comes to 8-letter word, over is a good stem to look at because you can always do something too much, like overfeed, for example. Okay, so in this case, just play the other tiles that do not fit this pattern. So play fem, keep over. Okay, then for this player who's ahead now, okay, more than 100 ahead still, just has to keep scoring. Okay, so here I want you to pause the video. You have a letter X. Okay, you have blank and S. But how do you make good use of it and score a decent score? Take a moment to think. Okay, so did you notice there is a certain triple letter on the board? Okay, there's one here, of course, but this one is harder to assess. Okay, there's one out here. There's one out here. Okay, but there's this one that's nearby. So what word can you make that can go down this way? Okay, so it is 6. This would easily score 29 and still keep you ahead. So we shall go for 6. And look at what we have here. Can you find a bingo from here? I do not mean a 7-letter word. It is a word that extends to the D over here. You can pause the video to think about it. Okay, so have you found it? I will review the pattern first. It is over. The pattern is over. So what exactly is the word here? Okay, so it is overpaid. Okay, to pay too much. Okay, so this person has come back by 100 points. Okay, this to be exact, this bingo scores 101. 17 multiplied by 3, that is 51, plus another 50 bonus, 101. So suddenly he's back in the game, and the score is currently 324 to 370, a gap of 46. Okay, so then right, okay, time to show the ending tiles. I will type it out here. DEGHITW. Okay, so over here, what you have is the remaining tiles of the person, which strangely, right, forms the bingo whited. Okay, whited as in WIGHTED. So of course, this has to be blocked. Now, can you find a move that blocks it? Okay, whited is going to go down on this section, column B. Okay, I hope you have found at least a move that is like GIF. Okay, GIF as in the animation. Okay, so this one will confirm, be valid, and also definitely take away the risk. Okay, so with that, the person doesn't have much to play. It's just to play out. So here I want to introduce the 4-letter words, HEID, WEID. Okay, just good to know. Okay, although honestly, to be frank, you could make do with the word hide, or you can make do with the word wide. Okay, WIDE, HIDE. Okay, so the idea is to finish your high scoring tiles and then just end the game. Okay, so this was the ending outcome of the game for discussion. Going back to the front, have you found out the front extensions? No. Have you found the back extensions of Trank and Think? I think for Think is the easier one. You can have ing, okay, or you can have thinkers. Okay, but for Trank, you can have tranquil. Okay, that will take a UIL in this direction to extend the word. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed this video on how to handle blocky boards and also learn some words along the way. Okay, see you next time.